procrastinates on doing stuff, the guy may actually put her over his knee and spank her, or paddle her, or whatever the case may be. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Y'all, I was trying doing too much. That they were doing way too much. I was in the group like as an observer, and I was crying. I mean, I was like, they're serious. Like, oh my God, they're serious. Like, people were like, yo, I didn't do the dishes today. Oh my God, my bottom is gonna be so red. I was like, you know what?
You pee on me, I'm calling the police.
How did we go there? How did we get there?
You nut on me, I'm calling the police. That means you ain't got no condom on.
I swear, y'all, thank you, to the extreme.
You donkey punch me, I'm shooting you in your goddamn eye.
Oh my God. And look, y'all, they like the men, they would be texting them, they would be threatening them, like sending them text messages like, yeah, when I get home, because they would be like, are the dishes done or something like that. They'd be like, if they ain't done when I get home, that's your ass tonight and stuff like that. Y'all, they were like, oh my God, y'all, look at what he sent me. Look at the text message he sent me.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. These are real people? What are we talking about?
Not necessarily domestic.
Interesting.
I'm in the BDSM king. Yes.
Wait, they're calling it domestic discipline?
Well, that's what Dr. Goddess was asking.
Oh.
That's one form, right? That's okay.
Well, you ask people that's in domestic discipline, they will shut you down quick if you say they're BDSM and king. They don't want any affiliation with BDSM and king. It's kind of it's weird. It's a blurred line. It's a line that can get blurred quite easily, for sure. For those times.
So y'all Google. You can Google.
Yeah. There's books on it. Books on that. Yeah.
Google domestic discipline, and then click on images, and you gonna see.
I gotta mess up algorithm.
Go into incognito first.
Go incognito.
Yeah.
But Google that and click on images and see it's a whole bunch of people getting spanked. There's cartoons, and I was like, y'all are out of your damn mind. And the thing is, like, they come. I mean, remember I was in the Black group, so like all the stats like about marriage or like domestic violence or like anything negative, in the Black community, they believe that this can all be straightened out with Black domestic discipline. And so I was just be in there screaming. I mean, I was like, why did I get introduced? Like, don't introduce somebody like me to this, because I can't. First of all, I mean, just the rules alone. Like, if I gotta keep the house pristine, I'm getting beat every day. Okay, so that can't happen. Then it was always like, it was just ridiculous. But they were serious, and I was like, and then there were a couple people that were like, I'm in college, I just can't concentrate. I really need someone to keep me together. And they were like, yeah, I can do it. Where you at? I was like, you know what? Because you can't study. you need to be spanked in order for you to study. I can't. Oh, that was a trip. That was a wild ride. When did I leave that group? I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago, something like that. But it was very funny.
What platform was this on, Dr. Guys?
I don't really want to. No, actually, it's on Facebook. So that's how I found it.
There's a lot on Facebook. A lot of different.
Yeah, that's how I found it. And I was like, when they say Black domestic discipline, I was like, oh, okay, like what's that? And then I didn't know anything about it. Then I realized that the Black people are getting it from the white people. Like literally, when I went back to like the creation of the group, all of the memes, the cartoons, the excerpts, they were all white authors and white men spanking white women in cartoon or in real life. And I was just like, I'm not understanding. Like, one, first of all, this is unacceptable even in the white community. And number two, why, Black people, why are you adopting this?
I don't know if it's fair to say that we're getting it from white people. Like, that's some.
Well, they did.
Like, even when it came to BDSM, people claim that's some white people shit. Why are we taking this on? That's white people shit. It's not. Like black people have ties to BDSM and kink and domestic discipline, just as gay leathermen have ties to World War II, coming back and doing this thing and having this secret hanky code and so on and so forth. So no, it's not just white people. There were black people that were part of this from the beginning.
But isn't domestic discipline like a set?
Well, who is? Well, I mean, if you want to say we got it from white people, because when it comes to the religion, that is typically the foundation of domestic discipline. If you're talking about Christianity and so on, then yeah, for sure. But I guarantee you will come across, if you were still in that group, black people in domestic discipline that practice African spirituality and incorporate that into their domestic discipline, for example. But if you're talking about the religion itself that's being the foundation, I can see where you're coming from.
Well, that was the group that I was in. That was a group, but But I did, like I said, it was very interesting just to read, all the stats about single mothers, for example. They believe, that could be solved with domestic discipline, and violence. Not studying in school, it could all be solved with domestic discipline. And I was just like, y'all, clearly I am one of the wayward ones. I'm one of the undisciplined in the community. I'm a detriment to the community because I will never submit to this bullshit. That was my assessment.
See, I need to get off the Clubhouse because I can see a way to monetize this, writing books about. I can't do this. No, I've got to have some kind of standards here. I need to leave y'all alone. Dr. Goddess, this is your fault. I blame you.
I'm sorry.
You know what's so crazy? He said something about white people when I did a Google search, and it was talking about how African societies use physical endurance, restraints, body modifications, initiations into adulthood involving whipping, canning, fasting, isolation, public performance, obedience, and ritual bondage. We did it.
Don't threaten me with isolation. I try that as much as I possibly can from the public.
I guess I ain't gonna be African enough either.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, Patty, she didn't even wait 2 seconds. I was like, Prince, there's been some people in here that have been very bad girls. She was like, not me. You come at me with
Yeah. I even said, I'm gonna make it clear, if you're not on me, I'm calling the police because you should have had a condom on. We started off with a condom, somehow you slipped that motherfucker off.
Oh, I am crying. Oh my goodness. Y'all are too funny.
So what do y'all do about the people? How do you know the people are streaming in here? How do y'all find that out?
Isn't it usually the echo you hear in the background or something?
Oh, is that what it is?
What'd you say, Gwen?
I said, how do you find out? How do y'all determine that people are streaming the room? How do you figure that out?
Oh, I don't. So other people tell us. They'll tell us in the back channels, or they'll say it in the chat, like someone's streaming the room. This particular kid guy is a weird dude. He's obsessive. He's obsessed with streaming rooms.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know people was doing that prior to this, but I mean that anonymous. I don't understand why they even let. I mean, you could tell Clubhouse is just trying to create some kind of parody by doing that, by allowing people to be in rooms anonymously. What would be the point of being in a room anonymously?
I do anonymous when I want to spy on other rooms, and I don't want them to know I would even grace their halls. But yeah, I don't do it that often.
So I did ask in the email about a 5-minute time limit, and I think a lot of people have been complaining from because I think Mel was in there earlier, and then I came into the Clubhouse room, and they were saying that people in the chat were saying this anonymous thing is going too far.
I mean, we can see what that was. I mean, obviously, there's nothing but a bunch of deviants on this fucking thing to begin with. Who couldn't have foreseen that being a problem?
Right, I get it if it's 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes max, maybe even 10 minutes, but to sit in a room, this fool sits in a room, then he's really weird. This dude claims he ran, or they say he's ran for a seat, but he sits in rooms, has multiple phones. He has a mental health issue. This John Kittman guy has some type of mental health issue. I'm not the one to diagnose him because I ain't his doctor. I'm not a doctor. But just looking at his page, he's weird. Like at this point, he stalks people. He's a stalker.
He hasn't raised $1 for his congressional campaign yet.
He is a stalker. Like somebody need to do a health check on him. And whoever watches his page, he is crazy. If you ever see this stream or whatever video he's recording, this man is crazy, y'all. He should never win any office. He shouldn't even have a job at McDonald's. He's a threat. Until he gets some mental health, some type of behavioral person, something's wrong with him.
He be having rooms on Clubhouse, no one ever comes in.
Yeah, talking to himself. And then he got the nerve. Y'all wouldn't even have that stuff recorded. I keep that to myself. If you go to his pages on Clubhouse, he has rooms where he's the only face in there.
Wait, but recorded of that?
Yes, he has recordings. And you know how he doesn't turn the replays off? The replays is here. Look at him talking.
Is he talking? Is he talking or is he sitting there silent?
Go check out the chat. I just put it in the chat.
Now I hope he's recording this for his VA medical health specialist so that they can help him with his mental health issues because he's crazy. And he'll never, he can't work in public. He can't. He needs to have non-workable, 100% VA disability. He can't be living in society until he gets some type of help.
He even has a screenshot of our PTRs. This man is off the chain.
He's crazy.
I said last week that this guy had a mental illness, and I think it was Sloan who said to me, how could in the chat, why do I say he has mental illness just because he's doing this? This is obsessive compulsive behavior.
Yeah, at this point, so long we don't want down.
This is way beyond.
Salone be booty clapping and shit, and her ass won't come on stage no more because she's scared of the motherfucker. Girl, shut up. At this point, that's why I was like, girl, shut up. You won't even come on stage because you scared. You want us to accept your bullshit.
Who's that? Who's that?
Let me be quiet. She ain't in here. I'll wait till she in here so she can defend herself.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I agree.
I don't like saying stuff about people in the email.
I'm back.
Who's on back? My Melly Mel?
Yeah,
My eyes are dilated, and I couldn't see the machine trying to put in the PIN number to pay for my food. My husband outside, and I'm trying to get his attention. That's a freaking hot mess. Unbelievable. When they check your eyes, they dilate your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I needed those Stevie Wonder glasses that they be giving you.
Girl, these motherfuckers dilated my eyes one day and then have me sitting there for an hour and had this. That's why I don't fuck with.
Because you was driving.
Right? No. Yeah, but This why
I don't drive.
They be like, you cannot get your eyes dilated without having a driver. Civilians, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's the way they do it over here too.
They point out and be like, drive home. Motherfucker, I knew the stop sign because they red. I was like, they done lost their fucking mind.
They only had me sit for like 20 minutes to turn my ass loose, but then I was sitting in the store trying to buy my glasses too, so I guess I can't work out.
My husband, since he's the one that drives, he doubles up his thing. So he uses the little one they give him that curls up, and then he'll put his shades on top of those, so that he's able to drive. Oh my God. Well, they say I don't need glasses, guys. My eyes is getting, I know I can see the difference from last year to this year, but they said it's not as, I don't need glasses, reading glasses, should I say. Maybe next year I'll need them.
They told me the same too, but that's because my eyes was working. My eyes are messed up. So it's like sometimes I can be all good all day, and then there's these days that sometimes I'll blur.
I think I'm just tired at that point. That's what happens to me. Usually around 7 p.m. That's what starts happening to my eyes. They start blurring. I can't, when I look at the screen, trying to look at you guys, it's like...
So maybe you get some of those blue light glasses or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my partner wears those sometimes, and he got an ugly ass pair.
Maybe I'll put them on
a cute pair.
Welcome to old age.
in October, so I can say that I'm fishing.
Every time I get my eyes checked, they come out perfect. That's the bad.
Yeah, I was reading the smallest line at the bottom, and then they told me to read this book and this little paragraph, and it was the paragraph that was all the way at the bottom, and I was able to read it.
Yeah, that's how I be.
But I tell them at times my eyes go out. I be like, that. What the fuck that says?
Yeah, that's how I had to tell them my eyes go out. That's why sometimes I'm like, Lord, let me get my glasses, because then my eyes are acting up. And then there's times that I just read, I can go 2 days with no problem, and then one day it's just start blurring automatically.
CEO, what happened? You came back because Brooklyn left?
I didn't know Brooklyn left. I just am on my little break in between meetings. No, Brooklyn's cool, but she just is out of control. It's like she don't care about evidence. A lot of people do. They don't care about the evidence at all. It's Rico, and it just doesn't seem like he do.
I mean, she said she spends at swingers parties, so it's a lot of that is, your normal and my normal is different. So, you know what I'm saying? People just don't see anything wrong with certain things, but of course, everything has limits, right? Does this hurt the sex worker industry or not? I kind of think it does. No? What do y'all think about that? Because people are not going to want to pay these people.
It doesn't promote the sex worker industry, no?
Well, I was going to say it's going to be difficult for these people to get paid, right?
No, money's always up front. What are we talking about?
Or they'll just figure out ways around it. It won't stop that. That's the oldest time.
Wait, do they take Venmo or not?
Some people do.
I'm sure they probably do.
Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.
Also noted, a lot of people wouldn't have come if they weren't subpoenaed. They wouldn't have even shown up. I mean, the basis of what they do is anonymity. In a lot of ways. But this motherfucker is still streaming this shit. That's crazy. I'm watching my text messages pop up on this shit. It's crazy.
Wait, who's still screaming?
Kitover.
Yeah, whoever the
John Kitover.
I have a question. I just got an answer from YouTube that they received my report and they're going to be investigating.
When did you do yours? 'Cause I need to see if YouTube emailed me.
Go to your junk emails, Patty.
I got it at 12:32. Right at Pacific time. Hope you heard that, John. He usually ends up making the room private after that.
So I got some breaking news. Judge, this is kind of old, but maybe this is just an update. Judge rejects Trump's attempt to stop asylum claims. The judge wrote that neither the Constitution nor federal immigration law gave the president the authority to adopt an alternative immigration system. Federal judge in Washington ruled on Wednesday that the Trump administration cannot categorically deny entry to people crossing the southern border to claim asylum, striking down a change made on President Trump's first day in office. The ruling rejected the idea repeatedly put forth by the president that such extraordinary powers were justified to curtail what Mr. Trump has called an invasion of the United States by immigrants crossing the southern border. In a hefty 128-page opinion, Judge Randolph D. Moss of the Federal District Court for the District of Columbia wrote that the Constitution and federal immigration law did not afford Mr. Trump the expansive authorities he claimed. The court recognized that the executive branch faces enormous challenges in preventing and deterring unlawful entry into the United States and in adjudicating the overwhelming backlog of asylum claims of those who have entered the country, he wrote. But neither the Constitution or the current law governing asylum seekers, Judge Moss wrote, could be read to grant the president or his delegates authority to adopt an alternate immigration system.
So can Matt still get deported?
Wait, what did I do?
You've been in Kentucky a long time. Bad
Can I at least get a hello?
Hi, Matt.
Hi,
I
man.
just walked in the room.
I hope you like Alligator Alley.
No, they need to send them to Sudan, where they sent the Asian.
Oh, yeah, Sudan.
He said he's gonna deport some American citizens, and he's looking at denaturalizing. So some of y'all that's sitting up here talking about my family came the right way, he about to send your ass back the right way.
Mm-hmm. He said it. He said y'all been bad, and if you don't get sent back, he gonna give you to the farmers who are oversight on you, responsibility for you. Does that sound familiar to anybody? And just remember, when you're out there under the control of a farmer, a responsible farmer, that you voted to be doing it. Man, they're gonna need help down in Texas. You're gonna have to go out there and start helping folks. You know, your community, you know, don't you have a community of people that need help?
I come here, I come bring peace.
But we ain't bringing peace.
Hey, can I ask Mel a question? Or April Plus or Patty Plus? I'll go Mel, or maybe even CEO Plus. Today is my last day for the Plus, and I want to know what should I be doing on my last day.
I think until Facebook gets this anonymous shit fixed and does something with this other little person down there getting their jollies from recording and streaming and shit on YouTube, that we should just forget our plus status. No, Pete.
I mean,
well, real quick, I have to run, but do not leave the Plus community.
I paid for the year. I'm trying to say.
I need a reason.
Scotty, leave, because I'm leaving.
Okay.
Your reason is peer pressure and to differentiate yourself.
No,
You
my
wanna be like
reason is that
everybody else who doesn't
we got a
have Plus?
cycle in the goo, and they're not
Do you
doing
want to
nothing.
downgrade? Do you want to be downgraded, Scotty?
You gotta
Or you want to stay upgraded?
No,
You want to be a conformist, Scotty?
No, if you paid for monthly, I suggest you go ahead and get rid of it.
I just want to be one of the people. I'm tired of sitting in first class, y'all.
No, I like first class. I like how your feet. I love that you get a different menu. I love that I get a little bag with my little cover my eyes to go to sleep. Yeah.
And Patty, the cutlery, right?
Yes.
You get a nice glass.
And
Y'all never food Jeff.
you will get a drink. You will get an alcoholic beverage.
The second you sit down.
Exactly.
And you don't have to worry about not finishing it, because once the flight takes off, they will be serving it to you again.
In that part.
That's right. You don't just slam your drink in desperation. Patty, we had talked about Delta One. Was it Delta One?
Oh yeah, Delta One, they give you the leather bag, not the little first class bag that's made out of cloth. They give you a leather black bag, y'all. The little bag for your yeah, it's amazing.
Toiletry.
Also, I want you guys to know there's a big, beautiful bill. It has changes to student loan repayment. It says there's just going to be 2 options, but there could be a third option. You could go to Alligator or Alcatraz. That could, because it could be criminal for you to have to pay or not pay, or you haven't paid yours yet. So,
They'll close down that place before that happens, April.
what are you thinking? Water, the place is built. Are you not
never
gonna
ask for. You already know what Water's thinking. You don't want to.
The place is built. What is wrong with him? Honestly, I need to know. Water, what's your malfunction? The place is built. They say they could have built it in 72 hours if they didn't have to follow certain guidelines. You out your mind if they're going to shut it down. Shit.
You know what?
You're in the Matrix. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for the era.
What did they say about what's the big beautiful bill opposite on student loans?
Oh, it's going to be down to just 2 payment options. That's in the bill.
I actually have a student loan update for the room. If you will give me a few seconds to bring it up.
Seeing my sister and smashing these stupid.
I'm just here to bring the terrible news. So, top 10 changes. So, obviously, medical residency is now also going to count for PSLF. Before, they tried to eliminate it, but they were able to get back in. So, if you are a medical doctor and you work at a public hospital, you can have your debt forgiven. I believe now it's up to $200,000. Next, there's always been this thing like people file, if they're married, they file married filing separately in order to get like lower repayments. You can still do married filing separately. That's a big deal for a lot of people. Like, I actually know people who are willing to get divorced because of this. And like, they text me and they're like, should I get divorced? Like, so this is a thing. Anyways, if you're on the new income-based repayment plan, they're gonna keep that. I'm on the SAVE plan, and I believe that's gone away, but that's another story. Parent Plus borrowers now have to July 2026 to consolidate. So you have to make sure. So I would go to studentloanplanner.com if you are a Parent Plus borrower to read more information on this, because you might be screwed. I'll skip a couple of these. So the pay plan might survive a couple of more years. So if you're on the pay plan, but the biggest takeaway, I think, I'm sorry. There's a template now for codifying the SAVE plan. So the Democrats can save the SAVE plan, and if they get their act together. So that's a takeaway. But the biggest takeaway I see is new borrowing limits. So you can only borrow a certain amount to go to school. For undergrad, it's $100,000. Grad school is $200,000. Unless this last minute gets revised, that's what it's going to be. So your school will probably work with private lenders. So you can no longer borrow the maximum from the federal government. The max you could borrow is $100,000 from the government as of July. Anyone entering a program July 2026, maxed out at 100. Grad school maxed out at 200.
So that means only rich people will be able to afford college.
No, that means that poor folk, or anyone, the rest of us would have to get private loans, and we all know how that's going to work. So yeah, I do think that unless people can, come from family money, there'll be less people going to medical school, law school, etc., or taking out private loans with much, much higher interest rates.
Or maybe the price of education will come down.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'll just call you it. Because I only acknowledge one man, and he's not here right now. So I'll just call you it, because you look like it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is. At least it doesn't start with this shh.
Osen, did you talk about the part where people making $4 million a year will get around a $400,000 tax cut?
No, this was only about student loans, Scotty. Do you want to continue to drag, the Republicans a bit more? Feel free. This is always a safe space for the Republicans, MAGAs to get
Thank you for that opportunity. I could tell you more about the tax implications, but I don't know, kind of over this shit. But in case you're wondering, people earning $988,000 to $4 million are averaging about $44,000 in tax cuts. People earning $388,000 and $988,000 on average are going to get about $19,000 back. And I know what they're going to say. Oh, but they pay more anyway. They pay whatever. I get it, but let's go all the way down. And the people earning up to 51,000 are going to be paying $580 more. The people under 17 will be losing about $940. People making up to 93,000 will get $815 more. So congratulations on that. But also, Medicaid is going to be completely unfunded, and all of the other cuts. So, yep, there you go. The biggest wealth transfer ever going to the wealthy from the poor in America. What a great country.
All right, do you have any good news, Scotty?
Nope.
Nice.
I mean, I'll look, but I don't think. What would good news look like exactly? Would be an example.
Edit this PDF.
What is the Christian response exactly to cutting SNAP benefits? Food stamps, things like that.
They love it. They're
Taking
loving it.
away insurance.
No, which Christian, hold on, which Christian camp are you talking about? There's many camps within Christianity.
No, of course. The camp that loves this, that response. So whatever camp that is. Because I know a lot of Christians don't love this.
They were already at $2 per meal. So they're being cut down from that. Notice Matt.
Oh, sorry, but
Matt is on the phone. I just wanted to point that out. As soon as you get on this.
for the rest of us, the CEO as well, maybe they talk to each other. I think I read that Trump has already frozen $6 billion that was intended for summer programs that are currently in progress right now, Boys and Girls Clubs and others that enrich children's summers and feed them. We don't need that. America first, but not America's kids first.
I mean, do we talk about the fact that it's going to become more of a police state? So while they're cutting services for poorer people, their welfare programs are adding $170 billion to immigration enforcement. 51.6% billion to build a wall on the border, which is 3 times the amount Trump had spent on the wall in his first term. And $45 billion for detention, that's billion with a B, detention facilities, and an increase of 265% in ICE's annual detention budget.
I'll put the link in the chat. People always want me to put the link in the chat, so there it is. Sorry, Scotty, but yeah, that too. And I just saw an article headline that says that Alligator Alcatraz has already flooded. Like, that's not going to be a feature. It's just a problem.
Oh, well.
I mean, when you build something in a swamp, like, why are we surprised? It was literally, like, Everglades is literally.
Yeah, that's why they've never built anything over there. It really is nasty. But that's Florida for you. No offense to Floridians or ex-Floridians.
I'm from Miami, I'm not from Florida.
Okay, well, you keep telling yourself that. The facility will cost costs $450 million a year. Reimbursed by, wait for it, FEMA. I'm sure this is all going to go well. $450 million a year to run that facility, Alligator Alcatraz.
And it's flood prone, and it's in the way of hurricanes.
And if you've ever been down to the Everglades, you know how nasty and disgusting it is in terms of climate. It's terrible. I mean, Florida's bad enough.
Hello. What are y'all doing? Hello.
What up, Mel?
You being not like
What's up, Haitian?
Alright, it's like a moment of silence in this motherfucker, huh?
So, I don't know.
It's a moment of silence for Diddy.
They came. You remember when they came in here and was like, "Oh, what's going on? You guys, what did Brooklyn say in the chat? Are you guys going through it or something?"
What?
I'm like, "No, we good. You guys were the ones that said that he was gonna be found not guilty on nothing. Y'all should be crying, not us. We said he was gonna be found guilty on something. That's what we were all saying. They were saying, nah, he's free. He's free. He ain't never gonna. Yes. Wait, what is that?
Honestly, the case isn't as impactful as the comments that people have. That's the problem.
Oh my God, the comments on YouTube were bad too. I was like, oh Lord.
People have. Then you think about like why we don't want to fucking report most of the time. I could care less if his ass goes free at this point. But at the same time, like, these niggas to be fucking working for this nigga talking about he did nothing wrong. I'm gonna have a daughter if he think like that. Or even a son, shit, because it's in.
Yeah, I think that I do agree that the comments are worse than this whole thing. Because I was watching YouTube and they were arguing in the comments on the live feed. I was like, oh my God. And you gotta pay to have you have to have a subscription to be able to speak on YouTube in the live feeds. I was like, it's too spicy. Did you guys do your work today? I don't think so. Get to it. Get to it. Well, you gotta read your book and you gotta go trace. Yeah. And you gotta read your book and do your math. Let's go.
Otherwise, you're gonna end up in freak off.
Mama is back. Y'all better recognize.
No, that's a lot to do at once. That was a lot of instruction.
No, it's not.
Yo,
Yeah,
Tom,
but
No, we're going outside.
well, it's
and, like,
eight.
yelling
What?
at the top of your lungs.
Well, I yell all the time.
Yeah, one time I went outside and said, fuck this shit. My goddamn neighbor was like, are you okay?
Did your sister her tracing book?
Fatty, I love it.
Yo, it's
Get
hard being a mommy. You feel like,
Summer is hell. Summer is straight hell.
I just want to be like,
You know what? I want a tracing book. I miss all that shit. Like, why can't I do that as work?
You can go to Amazon and
Why
get
do I
it.
have to do real shit?
You can go to Amazon and get you got a whole box.
But I want to get
remember
paid
2
for that.
pages, please? Thank you.
The sharpener on the back.
You know-
And make sure you read your chapter book. Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
Seth, said a couple of years ago, adult coloring books were popular.
Yeah.
Dining on the dining room table. On the dining room table. Thank you. All right.
Yo, Mel,
I'm pretty sure I bought one.
tell them
Yeah.
your plus, Mel. They'll listen. They'll fall right.
They usually do it early in the day, but I went to an appointment. You see how kids, they take advantage of you when you're not here. So I'm back now. So they got to do it now.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I told them to do that before getting on the iPad, but that's what happens with mom,
You know, when I was little, right, when my mom would go to the Philippines, she would go for a month because, the ticket's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was gone, there was no fucking rules. My dad didn't know what to do. Like, food we would eat. He would order pizza. That was our dinner for 2 days. It was our dinner and our breakfast. How he made our lunches, it was like the whole
that's how it's going to be next week when I'm not here. Watch. I already know.
The whole big bag of chips, he'd be like split it between us. Girl, one day I went to school with like, you know how you got a Kroger plastic bag?
Yeah.
My dad put the chips in there and tied the bag up. I was like, Daddy, I didn't want to eat my chips at school. It looks disgusting. He was like, you eat it out the plastic. I was like, yo, and Dad, when they got a wife that did stuff, them mugs suck.
Nah, my dad would send me to a lady a few blocks that knew how to do my hair because there was no way he was touching this shit. There was no motherfucking way.
My mom
So
was
he already
like,
knew.
Well, I guess because I was raised by my dad, I'm like very organized with my kids, so I'm the opposite.
You a man, we talking about little girl. No, I'm just kidding. No, but the food thing was a problem.
Y'all definitely spoil your daughters. You men.
Did somebody just say whorehouse? What are we listening to?
Who said that? Oh, no. I was trying to hear the end of this.
Oh, it's the end of something you listen.
And now what is 10 years because he has 2 counts, remember, if he's convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts. That could a maximum of 10 years behind bars. Here's where the question
Mom would get my hair braided.
10 years each. That's the maximum. That would be basis. Could it be consecutive? Could it be concurrent? There are a lot of question marks about all of that, and I'm sure we're going to break it down here on Long Prime as the days go on.
My dad had no nighttime time. We'd be like, I think it's late, y'all gotta go to sleep. Can we just watch this show? Okay, when the show go off, my dad let us sleep on the couch on the days that we had school days, because if we fell asleep watching a show, he didn't want to wake us up. It was bad. It was really bad.
My dad used to take the circuit breaker out at night at 9 o'clock at night, like or 9:30, because that was bedtime. So we couldn't even fucking after a while, we couldn't even turn the lights on. That's how much we didn't fucking play. So I would take a flashlight and read books underneath my bed, and I thought I was like a rebel. Yeah.
I was content with my mom leaving for those 30 days because it was really no real rules with my dad because he didn't know what to do. So I'm content with my hair being nappy and frizzy by the time
Oh my God.
you got on TV and watch, because it's really easy to sucker a father if you're a daughter. I'd be like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Just one little show. And he'd be like, okay.
Look,
I'm laughing because when I come home, the girls' hairs are like this.
Right. Hair all.
Look, my dad waited hours for a Cabbage Patch doll for me, the talking one. Okay? My dad would do a lot of BS. okay? That man, I put that man through hell. But I was like, it was always like, my life became so easy when I was the only kid in the house. I had free range. It was like freaking. I'm the last one, so you know I did every fucking thing. Free range. Once my sister was out, because she was kind of like the wild one. She smoked weed, had parties and stuff. When she was out, my dad didn't give a fuck what I did.
Child, let me tell you, one summer, my dad, let us go to the pool the whole time my mom was gone. And mind you, we get braids when my mom leaves. By the time she came back, it was like, I had mini dreads.
Wait, hold on, you're
hair
breaking
was
up.
stinky on the inside because the only thing
did
he
you
knew to do was shampoo it with.
She's back on schedule now.
Wait, you saying you have?
Oh,
you
yeah.
said by the time you came back, you had dreads.
I had dreads in the braids. My hair was kind of stinky when they took the braids out because my dad shampooed it, but he shampooed it with the braids in my head.
Ah,
He
shit.
was like, go wash your hair. So we just washed our hair with the braids on our head. So by the time my mom came back, it was like trying to take it loose. The hair was like, and I got really coarse, curly hair. So that shit is bad. It was bad. Like my mom had to cut pieces because it was
Oh
so.
shit. You never relaxed your hair?
Huh?
You never relaxed it?
I did before, but it kind of messed up my, you'll have some parts that's curly, some parts that's straight.
Yeah.
Out. So it was it looks bad. So now I don't do that.
Why is it every move I make turns out to be a bad? Where's my garden? Meanwhile,
So does anyone think, will they ever legalize prostitution? Does anyone ever think of these type of
You mean
things?
federally or more states? I don't know.
More states. More states or at a federal level.
I'm sure more states will, but it ain't happening federally. Absolutely not.
Man, you still talking here? It's like 100 years already. Concrete, man, do something.
Do that.
Can't just keep coming here and
Yeah,
talking all the
the
time.
entire
Can't do any work
southern
that way.
US
You
is
talk
gonna
all
do
the
that,
time.
and most of the Midwest won't do that, or the mountain plain states. I mean, so there's only probably 10 states that would do that.
New York, California,
Yeah, New York,
maybe Florida.
California, Florida, yeah, Massachusetts. I think what else? I don't know. Beyond that, I'm not sure.
You think Florida would legalize them?
It with a different governor.
Yeah, this new Florida, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be when a Democrat was governor.
And then it would depend on who that Democrat is.
Cocaine Cowboy, Florida, yeah. It's new Florida.
But how is it legal in? Didn't someone say the history about it being about truckers or something in Vegas or Nevada?
You mean how did it get
Yeah.
legal in Nevada? Just because it is part of the whole vice ecosystem, right? Like, just think about what Vegas is built on: gambling, casinos, etc. You know, you can smoke everywhere, indoor. I mean, so like, you know, it's just part of the vice culture.
So, just some economic news. There was a ADP jobs report today, which was pretty bad. But the jobs report, which usually comes out on the first Friday of every month, is coming out tomorrow because of the holiday at 8:30 a.m., which will be very interesting because it also can play into interest rates coming down as well, among a whole lot of other things. The ADP report was projected today to be an addition of 95,000 jobs in the private sector, but in fact it was a decrease of 33,000 jobs, which private sector jobs. And although it's not an exact mirror at all of the jobs report for the labor statistics, it could be an indicator. So we will see what happens.
Fun times. All right, anyone got some good news here?
I mean, I'm digging. You know, I think in the big beautiful bill there is a provision for real estate agents that they can get a $10,000 deduction if they buy a luxury car, but I believe you only qualify for a luxury car to transport clients around if the car is worth $130,000.
You get the card yourself. I'm through here.
So I am not.
Well, that's positive.
I've never seen anything like it before. These generations, you could barely.
Do they still have that like tanning center deduction or something? Is that part of this thing? I don't remember that. Remember there was like tanning beds or something? I forget. I don't know if it's part of this bill.
Putting in him are mine.
You idiot should at least see if he powers up before you start fighting.
No, you're about the tanning beds? Or
It's
tanning?
got a shadow function. That's
No, that was in some. Hold on.
It's a real thing.
No, it's a real thing. I swear to God.
basic right? Of course. Okay, same idea. Only this one's a 1,000-pound robot.
Charlie, I think there's a whole robot in there.
You want that piece of junk? You get the card yourself. I'm through here.
Oh, I guess that was a good one.
Robot that keep running last night.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's still in the bill. But the this is Forbes though. This was last month, so I don't know if it's still in there. But it's basically a repeal of the tax on indoor tanning services adopted in the law created by Obamacare.
Hey everybody. Scotty, I thought that was a joke. That's crazy. Teddy bears.
I'll post the link.
Oh, I believe you, baby. I'm just saying teddy bears are deadly.
Yeah, from
That's so good.
well, they love them in Alaska. For seasonal affect disorder. Yeah, what did the Forbes headline said? Make America tan again. Big, I can't even. I'm just gonna post the link.
Did you guys speak on Cassie's lawyer writing a letter to the judge to deny bail, and also a letter from Cassie's stylist asking to deny bail?
I thought that they did.
Yeah, I think Dr. Goddess read
okay.
letters, but not
Okay.
from Cassie's. Somebody, I don't know what you just said. Sorry.
Well, there was so first Cassie gave a statement from the lawyer, but these two letters are asking for the judge to deny bail. So, okay.
So, Scotty, as you consider whether or not to lose your plus, I just want you to take a look at half the stage has pluses, half don't. Which group do you want to be in?
This is good. Let me take a look.
Patty got stuck in a year. She didn't know. She didn't know that she couldn't be in
Mel, stop cheating. Mel, stop cheating.
Stop. So Patty, she does not. She's disqualified.
Mel, stop it. Nope, she has a plus.
Haitian and April told me they're going to expire too.
For a year, and
This wasn't a contingent
You see,
conversation.
Haitian, you got a year too?
Who has a plus and who doesn't?
Sure, bro.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm looking. Let's see. I mean, as much as I love Patty,
Just look at Water and Royu and Roslyn and Sandra.
you know what? Whatever.
And Sue.
I'm with Sandra.
Oh, and Sin doesn't have a plus. Look at that. And Black Freedom. Okay. You know Black Freedom got that $4.99. Y'all better stop playing.
Wait a second.
And he was like, no.
Wait. So if I'm on Sandra's side, I also have to take Water.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you don't.
Yes.
No,
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
There's one.
It is. Which group are you in? Which
Look
group
at
are
Matt.
you in?
No plus.
You got to make a decision.
Look at the group. We only got two.
No, we're only talking about stage. We're only talking about the stage. Only on the stage.
You don't want to be with the non.
Scotty, don't let them.
Yeah.
You want to be with Water and Matt? You want to be with Water and Matt, Scotty?
I'm gonna have to speak to my accountant.
Y'all crazy.
How much are New York parking tickets these days?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sue, because I didn't tell the stage. I got my first parking ticket.
Oh.
That's right. I've been so disciplined for years. I mean, I've only had this car for a couple of years, but I had one, 20 years ago for about 5 years. Never got a parking ticket. I got my first the other day. And that's because those fuckers made me move my car because of all the parade shit going on. And so I got my first one, and it's $65. It's worth it. That's all. It's not bad.
That's cheap as hell.
So better you pay that than pay Clubhouse.
I'm not even from NYC, and I've gotten about like 2 or 3 parking tickets there.
Shit.
Yeah, I've been very,
You don't even want to know how many my husband has gotten. That's why we ain't in New York.
Right.
Because he wasn't giving them my money.
I hear it.
He has so many that they fucking took his car. That's how many he had.
I mean, that's ridiculous, kind of, because sometimes, like, they make up reasons to give you a parking ticket there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People, I'm sure.
You know what? He used to always get caught up with the meters because, you know, they expired at a certain time. So he used to be doing a job in a school or in a building, and then the fucking
all
shit would expire, and then he would walk out to a fucking ticket.
But they don't like text you when you need to 15 minutes before.
Back in the days. I don't know about it. Do they text now?
I don't know. I don't park here.
Okay. I was about to say, that's some shit. Okay.
That's
The most that they do is beat the horn if they about to tow your vehicle.
Oh, God.
Well, so you have apps now.
Yeah,
like,
we
you
have
scan the
digital.
QR code.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have digital.
Like on your regular street door, or like a parking spot. You know what I mean? Like there's parking lots here that you park at, $5 boom, and then you do that, you get a QR code.
In DC,
versus like the meter on the street. You know what I'm saying?
It varies in
I'm only
DC.
seeing my meters on the streets here.
Okay.
No, there are people who just take the $65 ticket because it's cheaper than parking in the garage. Because the garage around here is about, for regular car, not an SUV, it's about $600 a month.
Matter of fact, I think we left owing $1,500 to the New York City.
All right. Well.
Yeah, on the what do you call that? The Easy Pass.
Okay, what's your address, Mom?
Yeah, right. On the Easy Pass, I'm serious.
Oh, I believe it.
Yep.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to tell y'all how much I got on Easy Passes in New Jersey. I was like, I ain't paying shit.
Are you going on the GW bridge?
You said you going on GW? I'm thinking about Jersey Turnpike.
Oh, yeah.
So question, over here, if you don't pay your Easy Pass,
You don't have to whisper.
Registry.
You don't have to whisper.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already laying down. I'm tired, guys. You can't get your car registered if you owe money to the Easy Pass. But they don't do that in New York, so that's why my balance was so high, because they keep on letting you drive it around. And just keep cha-ching, collecting.
If you grow up,
Texas, they don't play that.
if you grow up, and serious question, I've always prefaced that. Serious, non-political question. So if you're growing up in New York City, generally speaking, you don't have a vehicle as a family, correct?
Well, my husband has a vehicle. I don't have a vehicle.
It depends what part of the city you are, because if you're from
He's talking about in New York.
In Manhattan.
No, we had a vehicle in New York.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people have cars, but it's usually not in the densest areas. I mean, if you're in like the boroughs, sometimes a little bit further out sometimes, and especially if you need a car to like go get shit, like for your house, then a lot of people have cars and parking on the streets. A lot of people do.
Yeah, you don't need a vehicle. Yeah. My parents, they're 66 years old. They never had a vehicle in their whole life. They don't know how to drive. And they have survived this long, right? They take transportation. My dad actually retired on Thursday, guys. Last Thursday.
Oh, congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah. I was like, finally. He needed to retire. His feet was hurting him.
Oh, you know what?
Was he being difficult? Was he going down easy?
He just started buying books from Amazon to read.
Perfect. Wait,
Going down
all right,
easy.
so
What?
Like, was it hard for him to get him to retire? Was he not wanting to, but he had to? Is what I'm trying to say. Because my father said he was going to retire 15 years from now. He's driving Uber.
wait, so I have some stats for you on car ownership in New York, which I think is pretty interesting. In Manhattan, 22% of the households own a car. That's the lowest. And across the entire city, it's 45% own cars. And then, of course, Staten Island has the highest rate because they don't have the public transportation. And that's 83% of Staten Island has car ownership. Bronx is 40, Brooklyn is 44, and Queens is 62%.
I know Queens was going to be up there.
So,
Yeah.
here's another interesting stat to get. How much does it cost? What's the average cost per borough to park a car?
Well, it's all insane, bro.
It's free. It's free where I am. So you can park in the street for free. They don't even. I don't think in Queens. I don't think anywhere it has like permit parking. You know. So I think you just park on the street. You just gotta move it for street cleaning once or twice a week, depending on where you are. Otherwise, garages range. Well, LA has a permit. No, the commercial streets do. But most residential blocks do not have meters, or they'll have meters like at the corner where the businesses may be. But most of the time, they don't have meters. It's just on-street parking. Just park wherever you can find it. In some areas, just fucking crazy to try to find parking. Other areas, it's easier, but it's free.
You got a bumper pad on your car back, Scotty?
For people. No, my car is like dinged up. I don't even care anymore.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah, because if it looks too nice, you know, people are gonna steal it. So.
Yep.
Yo, remember when everybody had that? What is that thing called? That the security thing that attaches to the steering wheel?
The club.
Yeah,
That was the best thing to fight with, guys.
Everybody had one.
Yeah, because we were in the nightclub and people used to act the fuck up. That's the first thing you used to grab. You go out to the car. Yep. I've seen a lot of guys grab the club. Mm-hmm.
My nail stylist bought me a gift, y'all. She's so sweet.
Aww.
Thank you.
What's today, Wednesday? That's why she's outside. She's doing her hair and nails.
I don't know why I thought she does her stuff Thursdays.
No, it's Wednesday. I guess it's like, you know, in the middle of the week.
I'm Thursday, you gotta say.
Oh yeah, go and get your groceries now, y'all. It's gonna be fucking crazy tomorrow.
Why? What's going on?
4th of July. 4th of July.
Oh, I thought it's
It's the 3rd of July.
Saturday, 4th of July.
Right. Yeah. You gotta go
I
today.
mean, it's the 3rd of
I
July
thought
tomorrow. So.
I thought we were running out of food or something that we had to go out there.
Oh no, God forbid.
I know, me too. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We're all vigilant. That's
Shit.
hilarious. I'm just talking about the lines. Lines are
Yeah. I seen I can't when we drove up the block, a lot of people took out their American flags in the front of their houses. I was like,
I gave mine away years ago. I gave mine away when Donald Trump first became president.
Did they take out the Trump flag? Because, you know, where was I yesterday? I was somewhere yesterday.
it was just the white homeowners, not the black and Hispanic ones.
I was in Long Island yesterday, and I saw so many damn MAGA flags. I'm like, oh my God, get me the F out of here.
You was in Long Island?
It's just such a different world. Like when you go to certain parts of New York, it's like you forget.
No, I'm saying
Long Island.
or Suffolk, say.
Massapequa?
I think that's Suffolk.
You want to hear something funny? I saw a Trump hat next to the dumpster and it said, Jesus is my savior and Trump is my president. Just like right next to the dumpster.
Now somebody threw it. So what's up? When is this guy gonna? When is the bill gonna get to the House? On Monday after the holidays?
It's supposed to be before the 4th of July.
Oh.
Is it going to pass the House though? I thought one of the Republicans was trying to block this shit.
I think they got the numbers, brother, but they're gonna appeal it.
But Lisa Murkowski voted for it in the Senate and then is telling people not to vote for it in the damn House. So I'm like, bitch, what is your malfunction for real?
Just spineless motherfuckers, April. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's getting heat up here for her lying ass shit, as usual. Because, as a Republican, she couldn't win up here because they're so fucking extreme up here as Republicans, and that's, like, before Trump. So she runs on, like, independent or undeclared or some such shit. But in any case, she says a bunch of shit like, oh, this can't go, or yesterday it's like, oh, there's really good stuff for Alaska, and named all that off, but the other 49 states are seriously in danger and harm, and I'm like, bitch, what? you just care about Alaska, okay? The rest of the country can go down. So there's that. Of course, she blackmailed. Basically, she don't care. She says that. I don't know why anybody believes her anymore. She's been saying that since Betsy DeVos when she wasn't going to vote for her, and she did.
And she's a Nepo baby. It's time for her to go.
So, Matt, what do you think about this bill? Since you're a Republican over here, you think it's good? It's going to do good or harm?
Why am I fucking walking into a trap every time anybody asks me that question?
He thinks it's going to do harm because he's the one that said that he doesn't want to see the deficit grow. So he definitely thinks it's going to do harm. Ain't that right, Matt? Ain't that right, Matt? Matt, haven't you been arguing with us about the deficit? Hello?
Well, if I was
Matt's phone is broken. That's what.
If I was president for the day in Congress, which thank God I'm not, I would balance the budget next.
No, he didn't ask you about what you would do.
Yeah,
he
Matt,
said,
can you answer the question, bro? Damn.
I think it's a step in the right direction when it comes
so he's a big liar.
No, I just...
What about the deficit, Matt? Matt, you said you didn't want your baby girl growing up with that huge ass deficit.
That question's answered in two ways. One way, if it was up to me, I would balance the budget next fiscal year.
We didn't actually about no balance the budget.
Stop. If your question is if I was a senator, I would have voted.
No, Matt, my question was for a fucking citizen. A civilian citizen.
I think it's fantastic.
What do you think of the bill as Republican? It's that simple, man.
It's not like my question answer. I'll answer.
It's actually the white answer, and you are going to defend the white. You're gonna defend the white.
Spider-Man, I'd cover your house.
You literally contradict yourself time and time again. Every time you do the same thing, you're like, no, I'm not for it. I don't want the deficit to go up. But guess what? Daddy Trump wanted to go up. So now all of a sudden you're for it. I got you. And we, like, this white is all right.
It makes the tax cuts.
It doesn't make all
right. That's huge. That's white. That's big.
Okay, so why additional trillions of dollars, right?
What's that again? Go ahead, come back.
Matt, all joking aside, Matt, you're a grown ass man, bro. Say with your chest, if that's what you believe.
Yeah, I believe that the tax cuts.
I'm not gonna cut your head off. I'm just asking you a simple question, man.
Okay, before I get in the checkout line with people in it, I'll answer like this. The tax cuts are huge. To extend those tax cuts permanently is gigantic.
So
for the rest of the bill,
gigantically bad? Like, what are you talking about? You're the one who don't want the deficit to go up. you want the deficit to magically go down, and you want to cut taxes. Where do they do that at?
Just because you cut the tax rates, doesn't mean that you're going to decrease the tax rate. Google the Laffer curve. Read all about the Laffer curve. Laffer. Laffer.
Okay. How about I laugh at your
Oh no, not the Laffer curve.
Because you think there's going to be enough growth in order to offset
Sure. Yeah.
So Matt, the tax breaks are for the rich, though, right?
Yeah.
I gotta be on pause for about 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Imagining this growth coming from, yeah.
That's getting a hard on from other motherfuckers getting the tax break.
Matt is that regular everyday black man who thinks that he's going to be in the 1%, 2% one day because, you know, he's got a muddy backyard that backs up to the border. Hell, I don't know why. Just for any normal day.
Guess what these businesses do when they get money? They cut jobs. They buy back their own stock. They're not gonna fucking hire all these people, and there's not gonna be all this job growth. It's just greed on top of market.
Taking into consideration that 53% of the people in this country pays 100% of the taxes, people can keep more of their own money to spend it the way they want to versus giving it to the government is a good thing.
No, Matt, you guys crack me up when you say giving it to the government is a good thing. Let me just take a deep breath because I'm just getting in the car.
Breathe, sister.
When do you kick out the rest of the country, Matt? That's what
Wait,
I
can I
want.
just finish my fucking question? Jesus Christ. Okay, so you guys can correct me right now if I'm wrong, didn't interrupt. But usually taxes are for a reason. Taxes help with societal needs. They help with infrastructure. They help with people who can't take care of themselves. They help with healthcare. They help with schools. They help with so many things for the good, for the common good. You know, these Americans that you always talk about, you care about, you know, in America first, and you know, you be crying tomorrow about the vets when you really don't give a fuck, and then you're gonna be crying the next day about. So you don't see a problem, you have a problem with paying taxes when it comes to being a part of the society and helping to uplift people who are not as wealthy as you and Elon and Trump and you and Trent and all you millionaires. I mean, y'all have a problem with trying to help people who are doing their best but can't get to where you are? And maybe the roads and the hospitals, you know, some people have to go to the ER in a county facility or a clinic and they don't have, you know, insurance or, you know, just little simple shit like that. Bridges, roads, I'm repeating myself. Go ahead.
Having that mentality comes $37 trillion in debt.
So what do we do?
Nonprofits, organizations, churches, communities, and families should take on the vast majority of that role.
You motherfucking lying ass.
The government is not my family. The government is not my community. I'm my community. And we should look at government to solve our problems. We should look at keys. We should be able to keep more of our own money. We should be able to keep more of our own money. Put it in the community. We can all help each other.
All right. So when they had that song, "We the People," in order to form a perfect union, they were talking about. They weren't talking about. They were only talking about you. They were talking about you and Eli and Trump and all the rest of people like you, right? They weren't talking about anyone else. Because you said charity. So the poor people have to give to charity to help themselves. Is that what you're saying?
People that have money give to charity, lots of money to charity.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. There's 1,500 food banks. There's 1,500 food banks here in Harris County that help feed the hungry.
So why do you have so many hungry people in your county?
Yeah, they could actually pay working wages, living wages.
You're right. Hey, bro, you're beating me to the fucking.
I'm sorry, Matt, just stirred up with this line.
I've been working with
men all day. I'm the only female, and I'm fucking so tired of seeing, I'm so tired of testosterone and this bullshit Diddy case. Now they were talking about the budget, and here I get in the car and the same motherfucking men.
I'm saying on me. I'm saying on me.
Same maggots, Lisa.
Same ones.
But man, all joking aside though, man, like it's crazy to me, and I'm not even trying to come at you, bro, but it's crazy to me how you proclaim and you like people like you, Manfinity, profess to be people of God, but so concerned about helping other people.
Yeah. God preaches not.
Hold on. So concerned about somebody getting a meal because they're unable to afford it. Who gives a fuck why they're not able to afford it? Like, don't think that one day, God forbid, you cannot be in that same situation. Just because you see somebody in the street who's homeless doesn't mean they were a fucking crackhead.
He done been in it, Haitian.
Crazy, man. This shit is crazy.
He puts his quarters in the plate when it comes around on Sunday.
And if you're an elected official, man, right? You say the government shouldn't be in people's business, basically. If you're an elected official, your job is to serve the people. So if your constituents are coming to you and they have an issue within your community, what are you supposed to do? Tell them to go wait for a nonprofit? Food banks are running out of fucking food. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
They're talking about.
You say this shit, man. Like the shit you say sometimes, man. Like, real talk, all joking aside, you really need to look deep within yourself, bro. I really don't understand.
Doesn't include the homeless and the poor and the downtrodden. There's hungry kids.
And it's been like that since this country started. The soup lines, I'm about to say, maybe some of you guys do remember, but the soup lines, that's the whole reason that what's the one who started welfare? Was it Roosevelt?
We got some real slow people in the chat too. Daniel's saying food banks running out. Yeah, they run out of fucking food. If you were out in the community and did things in the community, you would know that most food banks are fucking running out of food. And that's been going on for a while now.
Yes. Instead of giving you enough, the main things, carrots that are misshaped, potatoes that have two heads, all the kind of shit, that farmers literally give away or go away. That's what the food banks have. This is no luxury fucking Mr. Chow where they go and get nice food. These people are getting food just to eat, just to survive. The shit that you would pick up in Whole Foods, with a dent in it. The shit that you go, oh, look at this potato. It's not shaped the way I like it round. They really can't sell them to these spoiled motherfucking Americans. They really have to send them and put them in bins and send them to food banks. So,
and does Daniel realize that the farmers are plowing over their crops because they don't have anybody to pick the damn food? So they're literally plowing their crops under.
I don't think he realizes he lost federal funding to a lot of these food banks.
Yeah. People they don't know what hunger is, and I think some of these people are lying. I think these people are lying, but then I think, no, they're not lying, because the United States is the fattest country in the world compared to, no, they said Samoa. I take that back. So anyway, just fucking fat, and they don't understand that some people in this country that are actually hungry. Because you go everywhere and everybody's overweight, so you're thinking we all live in large and shit. But it's the kind of food that we eat here as well that makes us obese. But I'm just saying this, when I hear people argue about food, to me, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, Daniel, Matt, but I am. You're the lowest of the low. Because any time you don't think it's okay for everybody to eat, just food. Niggas, food. Nobody's asking for no new car. Nobody's asking for no fucking champagne. People are asking for food, and then you want to argue that point down. It's just the sickest thing I've ever seen.
When folks get hungry and they're really broke, rob them at them.
Well, let me tell you, I know that Matt has got tens of thousands from the government, and probably Daniel too. It's okay when their situations get them tens of thousands of dollars and shit forgiven, but any of the rest of us, fuck off and get out of here. You care about the children in the womb. You don't care about them when they're born because Trump already froze $6 billion. I had to throw a link in the chat because somebody's like, "Oh, I think it's $7 million." No, it's $6 billion for summer programs, for stuff like Boys and Girls Club to help kids have a safe place during the summertime, while their parents are at work, and after-school programs and food during the summer. So fuck them kids. Y'all stop lying. Stop getting up on a podium about a woman having an abortion because you don't give a damn about the children here, and you ain't fed none, and you don't care, and that's it. Stop proclaiming Christianity and all that bullshit because your actions speak for you.
But April, they don't want them to have they don't want them to have an abortion, but they don't care if they starve to death.
Daniel, come up on the stage and stop being a fucking cat warrior.
But they voted for this because the amount of rural hospitals that will close based on the cut so far is predominantly going to affect Trump's voting base.
Good.
So they voted for this. So
let them get sick.
Let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake.
Oh, yeah, ML,
That's the same thing I'm thinking.
Hey, the history books are going to tell a fucking brutal story how dumb these people were, man.
Yeah. I was listening to this guy who was talking about, he goes, when you look back, this Harvard professor was talking about men between 18 and 24 who voted for Trump have regretted it because they said they were too young to remember COVID fully, so they thought they were voting for a guy because of his machismo. They didn't realize that all his policies are detrimental to them now because they had no idea what they never listened to him based on a policy oriented interest. It was just the fact that it was vibes. Trump showed up on Twitch. Trump showed up here. He showed up on Joe Rogan. But it was never policy conversation. So they never went and looked at his policy. They never went and looked at Project 2025 because they're like, nah, that's fake. Y'all just making this up. Now they're saying, holy fuck, we fucked up. And imagine some of the voters are actually saying, I don't think I'll ever vote again because the fact is that you cannot trust politicians. No, you guys trusted a guy who's the most lying politician in history, 30-something thousand lies during his first term, and you expect he to tell the truth now during his second term? You guys voted.
Matt left. He doesn't want to hear about it. He gets his government money and drives on like he deserves all.
And I think a lot of these politicians, we so busy talking about that motherfucking Diddy. I thought I was going to have to stab somebody today. I'm so sick of men, and every time y'all get a fucking win over abusing some woman, it's like it's the 4th of fucking July already. I'm like, I literally got dizzy because I wanted to stab somebody to death. It's like, I'm so sick of this shit right here.
Women are the ones who slap their girlfriends and mamas and sisters and daughters around and, abuse them and do other things to them. That's the kind that's happy today. They're out of themselves.
The whole clubhouse, that's all people are talking about. And I'm thinking, so I tried to change the subject and talk about the bill. And this, you're dealing with people who today have enough money that don't give a fuck. So I even got worse. I got madder. I was like, what? I got nothing to talk about today. This is a bad day for me to talk. But the bill is more important. We should have 14 rooms on this bill because these people who are voting for this bill, and I saw Hakeem come on and talk about it, and then I saw the one with the little glasses from New York talk about it, they're going to get fired. If you guys don't vote these motherfuckers out of office, you can continue to ask to get it, to get what you asked for. All of them should lose their fucking jobs. Seriously. This bill is... can we do line by line? I mean, I'm not home yet, but I just want to pull it up. And there's another new website, if you guys didn't know about it, I can't really tell you what it is, I have to look at my notes, that follows Project 2025 to see how much of this administration
has accomplished from that project. And I'll give it to everybody as soon as I get a chance
Yeah,
to
they're
go
like
over it.
45 or 49% through with their little plans, right? Something in
Crazy.
there.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So we're
People,
arguing
oh,
about
it's just a talking point by the Dems. This is how stupid. And I have come to the reason. I've come to the conclusion, that because we hear these MAGAs who stay on stage and talk and say, oh, I didn't know that, I haven't heard about that, or they read it and send us a link, and the link never says what they say it says. I think they have a problem with reading comprehension and logic. I think that those are the things that are the hallmarks of MAGA.
I know Matt. April, you so right. I know Matt does, based on some statements you've said, and he swear he read it. Maybe he just didn't comprehend.
He got passed through school. They get passed through school because, no child left behind. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I think a lot of these MAGA people, at least on Clubhouse, because that's my sample size, and a few people, these men who are black MAGAs, just look at them. Just take time and look at, and white ones too. They want to be so bad. They want to be in the 1%. They actually might even think they're in the 1% because they got an LLC. But they want to be in the 1%. That was a good one, right? Girl, when I first came in, I didn't even know what that was, so I came in Clubhouse, and then every black man on here said they got an LLC, and then the next lesson I learned that every black man on here is a Bitcoinaire. They got all their millions from Bitcoin, they all trade, and they don't even know where the fucking stock market is located. It's like, no, it's not in Philadelphia. But it's just really weird. But I'm learning a lot. But I think most of these men, I can't really feel bad that they want to aspire to be at the 1%, but they don't have the mental meat to be able to feed somebody to feed off of them, for them to get to that. They're not very bright, but they just want to assimilate into that level. And let's not be mad at them, but they're dumb as fuck. So that's okay.
Man, fuck them, Lisa. Let's talk about the rural hospitals that's going to be.
They can use all the inspired antibiotics that we have in the West Coast, East Coast.
They're gonna need the medicine that we ground up and send to Russia whenever we can to help them out. They're gonna need it, and I'll be happy for them to take it.
So listen, a couple of years ago, they went to Republic and tell them, hey, in rural areas in America, for somebody to go to a hospital, majority of people have to drive 100 miles. This particular bill would take enough money away from people where those people will now have to drive 3 hours to get to a hospital.
Just die. Why bother?
Exactly. You get helicopter and taking you for an emergency, you're gonna die en route.
You're gonna die.
It's crazy.
Sepsis can go up. They're gonna die. And most of those people who live in those rural people are MAGA. They still. Let me try not to call them names, okay? Most of them are gonna be affected on MAGA. They're the ones who live in these rural areas. But they say that's what they voted for.
Well, the biggest takeaway from this election is Cubans realizing that they're not white. I swear. If you lived in Miami, you know what I'm talking about. Cubans finally realized the white people don't view them as white people. And that's a lesson learned.
I think somebody may do a Hail Mary for them. Because these Republicans down here, they still not going against Trump. They won't call him out. They're asking for cuddles. So I won't be surprised if DeSantis or Trump don't do a carve-out like how they do it for the hospitality workers and the farm workers.
Oh, Trump said them people, that is detained or held up. Maybe the ones even, I don't know about them people down in Alligator Alcatraz, but which is flooding right now, by the way, and that's that's a feature. You know, they don't consider that a problem. But he say they're going to have responsible farmers who are going to be responsible for these people, overseeing these people, right, to make them work on the farms.
Who are we talking about?
Huh? Overseers, Lisa, whip crackers.
Wait, an alligators?
I don't know. It could be any of them.
That's indentured labor. That sounds like indentured labor is slavery to me.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. And the Americans who were born here who are bad. They're just bad. They've been bad for years. It makes them get good on the farm. Americans, y'all fixing to get locked up. They're gonna get locked up, and a lot of them's gonna be transferred now because they got debts they ain't paid. They got student
child support.
They have to pay child support they ain't never paid.
They gonna get them child support.
Fucking all kinds of shit they done misdemeanors and shit. Man, you better be clearing up your shit before they get you.
If you ever mention child support or alimony to a MAGA, they lose it. All of them have a bad day.
Oh, that's right.
Alimony and divorce all the fucking time.
It's gonna be fun. Round of their wives gonna be on TikTok, Lisa, crying. Okay, I didn't think he's gonna take my husband. Joe Bob, he just had like 3 domestic assaults, but I took him back every time.
Well, you know what? I would be celebrating. Come get these bitches. You know what I mean? If it was my husband, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
You know, but you gotta put on a show. You gotta put on a show.
Well, okay. All right, I can do that. Come get them. Yeah, didn't know they were gonna take them, but since you got them, oh well.
Did you see Trump said, and if they try to escape, the alligator's gonna get them? This man is sick.
Oh yeah.
The alligators with the alligator that eats batteries. But the one that eats batteries.
No, there are alligators in Alligator Alley. That's on I-75. There are definitely alligators there in the swampland.
It's alligators in Disney, honey. These people, it's over.
But didn't Trump say there was an alligator that ate a battery? One of his,
I don't know. He could have, but Christy Nome said they had a cannibal on the flight that ate himself. So that was a long ass walk.
So April, did you guys see the interview where Trump was at Alcatraz, Gator Alcatraz, where they asked him this question of how long does he expect the detainees to be held there? Trump answered, well, you know, I love Florida, and I've been in Florida a long time. I spent a lot of taxes in Florida. Guess what? Florida doesn't even charge income taxes. Florida doesn't even charge income tax. I don't know what Trump was. Nobody knew what Trump was talking about.
He didn't understand the question, but that's not me there.
Gambling on like a crazy 79-year-old man.
They can sit there till hell freezes over.
But his attention was on the alligators. He wasn't paying y'all no attention.
He loved them alligators. He loved having them alligators out.
Hey,
What's the symbolism?
say what you want about Biden.
What's the symbolism of gators?
He called Biden a son of a bitch. Did y'all hear that? Yeah, that's an interview. He said, yeah, Biden wanted to put me in one of these things, and then he might have son of a bitch.
Get out of here! How many curse words has he said? Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell everybody. Democrats are always trying to look like you're so prim and proper. I want somebody who uses the F word. I want the S word. I want everything when you're running for president. It's like fucking niggas. Like Trump is getting away with all kind of shit that Obama could have never done. A motherfucking plane, side deals, opening up Alcatraz in San Francisco, not opening up one in Florida, selling 13 counts of felony,
selling Bibles,
selling sneakers. Let's put that under Obama's name and see how long that nigga would have been in office.
Selling cell phones. I mean, come on now. This guy's selling everything.
10 goddamn minutes.
Well, Obama did call
It's the grip.
Kanye West a jackass. They
You know, that's like
Lisa,
that's like worse than
he wore
That's like
tan suit. He liked mustard. Michelle showed her shoulders. She tried to make the children eat healthier. You know, dear God.
yeah, they smiled.
And can play basketball.
They smiled at each other. Don't forget, they smiled at each other
They
in
held
public.
hands.
In public.
They should have put out a porn video.
So Matt, are you when are you getting your Trump phone?
He already got one. He was the first one to get one.
He got a gold-plated one.
And it
Wait,
don't
y'all,
work.
I forgot one more thing before you guys get on Matt. Y'all remember when they tried to make Obama gay? They did it again.
They tried to
They're still trying.
Remember that? There were 20 rooms.
And Michelle's trans. That's or a man. That's the thing they do now.
There's a woman right now that's making married men gay.
I'm gonna get my Trump phone. I don't know. It depends.
And you gotta buy wifey some perfume, some Trump perfume.
Make sure you get your Cybertruck too.
Yeah, okay. No, I have no car note, and I will never have a car note again.
Hey Matt, you gotta buy wifey some Trump perfume.
Do they make Trump perfume?
I heard it's
They do.
They
do. They got it for men and for women, so you can get the men's one.
And it's
They say he's making Trump ED pills too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Now that I mean, sign me up on that one.
Oh,
Well,
Matt
yeah,
already.
can,
Listen, hey, Matt already gets hard when he thinks about Trump.
I wish.
That's the only way you can get his shit up, April.
But listen, we're so
He tells his
people
wife,
don't
talk to
realize.
me like Trump would.
People don't realize all the people. I have a friend of mine who was like, he's a MAGA. He was like, yeah, man, no tax on overtime. I was like, you know they're gonna cap that shit up to an amount where it won't fucking affect you. And he goes, no, it's fool. All my overtime won't be taxed. That's what Trump said. So today I copied and sent him the language on the no tax on overtime in the Republican bill, in the Senate bill, and he goes, that's fucked up. They capped that shit at 12,000.
Yeah,
I was like, I told your ass that.
You know these dumb niggas. They don't learn about taxes. Come on now.
And it expires it expires in 3 years.
Yeah. It expires in 3 years, but the billionaire
28. Yeah.
Yeah, but the billionaire tax breaks don't expire.
Don't expire. Yep. I'm not lying. I literally got a tax break from Trump's bill because my family did. I'm not lying. But the problem is that the poor people didn't really get a tax break. They actually pay more taxes now. And they're voting for Trump, which just blows my mind.
They put so many requirements on the Medicaid or what have you. Most people are gonna just give up and just don't get the insurance, and that's what they're counting on.
You have to work 20 hours a week. If you're younger than 65 and your kids are over 14 or 15.
No, kids are over 7.
I saw 8-7 if you're not married. If they don't count as a dependent if you're 8-7.
And then the income, the daycare that they were using, those checks they were getting, that counts as income. So a lot of them may not be eligible for these programs anymore.
So people that are disabled, right? That, let's say they're on food stamps or whatever assistance. So you say they have to work 20 hours a week, Matt?
They already work. They already work. My friend who worked for me and passed away like a year later, she was already working at Walmart as many hours as she could get. And she was on disability, and she had all kinds of assistance, Haitian people who get that. And she wasn't, like, she could get around and stuff, right? I'm not saying that she was disabled in a wheelchair or anything. But there's people with serious health issues, right? She almost died twice as a child from a disease that she had her entire life. And she was working. And at Walmart, they wanted her to lift those big, the big water bottles that you put back in the things at the offices. She can't do that. She couldn't do that. So she came to work for me before she passed away. And these stupid people, they don't want to be called maggots, maggots, and all this stuff. I'll just say the stupid people don't know about people who work and are on Medicaid because they're too poor, because they're working for multi-million-dollar companies like Walmart, who we subsidize their employees by providing SNAP and all these benefits. But you're okay with that. The corporate motherfucking welfare, you're fine with that. You're fine with it because all of us, we should have to just feed each other, because that's the Christian way. I'm so sick of this shit.
So April, but my question though is like, say the ones who are not working, right, and they're disabled. So is it now mandatory that they have to work?
I think they're excluded, but I don't know what that determination will be now, Haitian. Will there be a new determination criteria, right, that they have to meet? So I haven't looked that far into it, but that would be a concern.
You already know the answer.
Yeah, you got to be visually disabled in order for you to get any benefits now.
Yep.
Okay, my people who are in Telegram, look at that picture of the trauma that we had to do.
Yeah, I just looked at it right now, Lisa.
And you see that? And
Yeah,
that
I was like,
person
what the
had
fuck?
no insurance. So meaning, not having to, don't want to have insurance conversation. What I'm saying to you is we're gonna go broke. We're gonna go broke. The hospitals are going to go.
Nation, I didn't even get a trigger warning. I went to go check out Telegram. I said, what the fuck?
I couldn't believe it because when you're in the middle of it, you can't believe it, right? I took that fucking picture because that person survived. But I'm just saying, just that's money. That is money. That's my world.
My
And
God,
that's
Lisa.
money. So just imagine how we are going to go the fuck broke.
The amount of blood they went through, the amount of
Dr. Goddard, I sent you the picture in your bag.
And the people involved in the care.
Send us an email.
This is every major and sometimes small hospitals across America, especially trauma centers. As Lisa said, these people gonna have, hello, you gonna die.
This is one case. One case. Go look at it.
Before you check it out.
I saw this before. This is crazy. Now this was from last night. This is one case.
Oh no.
That shit was a mess. So who has to clean that shit up? And
It wasn't me. The person whose legs are sitting down right there is one of the residents, and he goes, "I can't believe this just happened." I said, "You look at this shit. I'm getting ready to get out of here."
Did they make it? There's plenty of times that these.
Yes, that person did.
This effort is given. There's many times
And they
this
don't
effort is
make
given, and people do not make it. It's hell.
And where do you guys think that money goes? The hospital has to eat it like a prime rib.
Hey, Lisa, is that an ED OR?
This is no. This is an OR from a level 1.
Oh, damn. What the hell?
The patient made it upstairs.
Damn. Oh, my God.
It's a very nice hospital because you can see all the equipment is brand new. You can see our suction thing sitting over there. Everything in there is brand new, state of art. But the thing about it was that now the patient's going to the ICU. So the money, the damn versatile, you know what I'm saying? So Trump, they don't want you guys to survive shit like this.
No.
So stop you at the ED, in the emergency department, let your motherfucking ass die, and then that's it. They're not worried about the way this country, the way we treat each other, or we should be treat each other, or whatever. All that's over. We going to third world, for real.
That's why I put
Hey,
the
listen,
whole world as a topic.
the bill. Did you guys realize the bill is gonna make the ACA more difficult for people to get because of the eligibility criteria?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
You think they're gonna change? You think they're gonna change it where your kids can stay on there? 26?
Nah, they don't want that shit. Nah, if you're over the age of 7, you're an adult. Have a child. Have a child. You're over 7.
Nah, but real talk, you think they're gonna change that?
Yeah, they try to get rid of that shit. Yo, they don't want any ACA regulations. That shit.
I have to look up this stuff this week because my daughter's in college, so she has to get some extra stuff. So I have to go get her a new military ID so she can stay on TRICARE and also stay on Delta Dental. Because man, they changed it. It was like all that thing. Obama did that, or else my daughter would have to have gotten insurance for my daughter. She's 21 now. So people don't realize how good ACA, all the changes that were brought about by ACA.
These people don't give a fuck, bro. They don't.
Yeah, it's like, how the hell a 21-year-old want to have great medical insurance from a job? Like, come on, let's be careful. Let's be realistic.
My friend, her
And she's in college.
are unable to.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of them 21 are still in college.
My friend whose adult children are not able to live alone, right? They have different neurodivergent mental health issues, serious ones. $500 a month for each to have insurance if they don't have a job. You tell me how the fuck they pay $1,500 a month plus what coverage her husband, I think they have coverage through his working for the school system, the Dallas school system, sorry. But yeah, per child, per adult, $500 a month.
Why? Because they report what income they report in their parents' income?
Yeah. That's why the 2 older ones work. Thank God they have jobs.
Okay.
The youngest one, she's working part-time at Starbucks, and you can't get health insurance at Starbucks part-time. So she's trying to get her somewhere else.
Does a local community, friends, family, church, nonprofit organizations have any responsibility?
How are they going to take care
Is
of
it just the church? Or is it just our government? Or is it just us? No, you're going to let me finish. You're going to let me finish. I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish what I'm saying. Because I don't speak much. Why can't at what point do friends, family, local community, the church, nonprofits take on the responbody of taking care of people? Why is it always the government?
Okay.
That's you saying something dumb again.
Let me go first. Matt, here's the thing. None of those people, none of those entities are responsible for securing the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of each American. Okay? They're not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for that. The community but the communities and churches and people do those things. There are lots of regular people who donate to charities and provide things. You didn't mention them. You just mentioned the billionaires giving money. That's all you mentioned. But we already do, and it's not enough alone to take care of people. What are people supposed to do when they are suffering themselves? The people who give the most in donations comparatively are the people in the middle class, are the working people in this country who are doing 2 and 3 jobs to have a full-time schedule of work. You don't understand. Maybe nobody in your house works anymore. I don't know. But people in my house work, and I know. Okay?
All right, so
USAID. So Matt, USAID, they also, I'm looking right now. They also assisted NGOs and other non-governmental agencies with aid and food and whatnot. And, they decimated and expired that agency.
Breaking news. Diddy was denied bail.
okay, there you go.
You could go on.
Yeah, so a lot of those agencies who stood up and was able to help, a lot of them have either had to contract their services or close altogether. And a lot of that was the direct result of USAID not being able to exist anymore to give them the help that they were used to receiving to help folks who, were below the poverty line or couldn't help themselves enough.
So Matt,
Diddy was denied bail?
Yes. 1 minute ago.
I'm so happy about that.
Good. Keep your black ass in jail. Thank you.
So Matt, I'm gonna explain it to.
Oh, sorry, Boyle. Just on the Diddy piece. I was in Plan B telling Realist off. Realist was our guest earlier today. Remember him?
Yeah.
And literally the whole room told him that he was slow. And he was just saying all types of stupid stuff. But they thought, oh, he's going home. Diddy's going home. And the last thing I said to them was, hey y'all, I just want to remind you that the judge can consider all evidence that was brought up in this case, to affect whether or not he's going to send Diddy home or not. And they were just silent. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
That's what I said earlier, Dr. Goddess, on my lunch break. He remembered everything that was said during this case about how he treated women, beat up women, raped women against the wall, regardless of what he was actually found guilty of. Really? If I was a judge,
and I hope when they're charging him, they remember everything that was said and everything that came through his courtroom for the past 8 weeks.
Exactly, because just because the jury got confused, the judge ain't confused.
The jury got confused. Oh my God.
Yeah, I do. I think that the prosecution didn't really do a great job communicating, like really breaking down the RICO part. You know what I mean? Like, they
closing.
Huh?
In their closing, I'm sorry, Emil.
Yeah, in their closing arguments, because you can't have people sitting there listening to all this detailed information and crying and carrying on for 2 months straight, right? And then in your closing argument, now mind you, I mean, we didn't hear it. You know what I mean? We only got like the transcripts. You know what I mean? So we didn't hear like inflection and all this other stuff. But you gotta make it clear for them. You gotta make it clear. And I mean, apparently it just wasn't made clear enough, because I see RICO very clearly, and I'm just like, I'm not even in the jury. Why can't y'all see it? But that doesn't mean that, it doesn't, because I wasn't there, right? Like all the stuff, all the paper, all that, like just everything that has gone on, like it's the prosecution's job to tell the story. And obviously they just didn't do a good enough job.
Well, remember what we said earlier about, about how evidence is presented. Remember, just like someone said, the judge got to consider everything. But in all of those things that were brought in front of the court before a jury saw it, they weren't all put into evidence, right? And when you think about that, a prosecution is going to have all of this stuff and want to present all of this stuff as evidence for the case. But if they get these things taken out, it kind of always weakens their case at the end of the day, because there are things that are through lines. And it seemed like from our analysis in this room that there were through lines that were cut off from the root, like so the jury never saw it. And if they never saw it, right, then guess what? You can't, even if they know about it, they can't expect it to be utilized in deliberation. So if it's not utilizing deliberation because it's not considered, then guess what? Now your whole case is weakened, and they got to judge the case according to whatever they got.
Where's Brooklyn? I remember, I'm sorry, Brooklyn predicted no RICO. She's not in this room yet, Brooklyn?
She's not.
Okay.
Yeah. But
She came earlier, Lavon.
Okay.
And we were talking about it, but she was firm that no RICO. Like she really does not. I believe there was RICO, and at the same time I understand and accept why the jury didn't convict. But she doesn't believe there was ever RICO, period.
Well, the prosecutors did. They just did a fucked up job. And they should be fired. Because when the defense did not help the call, did they call one witness? Nothing?
I mean, but
Did the defense call any witnesses?
No,
they
the defense didn't call any witness. Their whole argument was that the prosecution, is going to fail. This is a wrong argument. That was their whole thing. So they didn't call anybody.
Wow. Yeah, but why should they get fired? I mean, again, you can't fire someone from being hamstrung with their case. Like, You didn't get to present everything you could. So,
Yeah, I can.
yeah, but that's the thing. The prosecutor can only do what they can do.
Fired. It's all about your win-loss record.
Yeah, but if I have shaved off serial number guns and they don't allow me to put it into the case, what am I supposed to do about that?
What did they allow?
They did. Okay, was that presented into evidence?
Oh, about his guns?
Yeah.
I didn't follow it that close. It was not, so you're saying?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I never heard anything about it. I knew that it existed because it was brought up when they first did when they did the raids.
But the guns is just like, I mean.
Well, they were illegal, and it wasn't like 1 or 2 guns.
But I'm saying, like, the jury had bribery. We literally have the tape, the witness saying they got bribed, they got called out of the blue. KK got their number. Like, they clearly made bribery obvious, and the jury still didn't get that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Get the guns. The guns is a bit of a stretch.
Right, but the problem is the bribery wasn't presented to the jury, even though it was happening to them. So it was happening to them, and it was presented to them. Is that a fact?
It was presented to them by way of the witnesses, like the guard that went to the door, the hotel employee, I should say, that went to the door and that saw everything. He is the one that was bribed. And he's the one that did. He was like, I know you want to do the right thing. He kept calling him his angel. I think that he was like in his 20s right now. Like, he was young. But he is the one who initiated the bribe, and he's the one that got the $100,000.
Yeah, but remember they also split that $100,000 between 2 other employees.
No. I'm not talking about that bribery. Yes. That I don't understand how. I'm talking about, like, from what I heard, there was a phone call to a jury member or something like that.
No,
is that the case? A text message?
It was a random text, but nobody could nobody could
prove it was coming from Diddy.
Okay, got you. I mean, well, yeah, when you see texts like, oh, are you juror number 6? Yeah, homie, like, who would text that? It wouldn't be the prosecutor. I'm sorry, like, what? What's going on right now? So, all right, but, at the end of the day, there was obvious bribery happening within the case and possibly to the jurors. And if they didn't consider that, like, damn, either they just turned their brains off or they did get bribed and they wanted to keep their mouth shut and they collected that check. Maybe that's what happened.
Now, here's something for Matt. Here's something for Matt and his peeps. White people are very, very upset, apparently, that Diddy did not get RICO. I'm crying. I mean, the nerve, right? Like, you literally, you voted for a president that had so many charges, like all this, and you mad about Diddy not getting RICO?
Palestine, RICO.
They should really be glad that Trump never got a RICO case, because he could easily get a RICO case. I'm just keeping it real. If you look at some of those charges, I'm like, wait up, you adding up, that could be RICO. Damn it, he's on the phone. I never got a chance to say that thing that I wanted to say. Oh.
That's what Matt does, so he won't face accountability.
Well, hopefully everybody's changing their topics now. Instead of it saying that Diddy will be free today, they could change their topics in their rooms.
So it's always been running this fucking room.
Yes.
That is some sick shit.
Listen, they were all saying he's gonna walk out of there. He's gonna put both of his fists up in the air.
But weren't they doing baby oil? Somebody said that they were pouring baby oil on each other outside.
There was a dude outside dancing with no shirt on, putting baby oil on his body. Yep.
Weird.
And he needs to go to jail too.
It was packed. It was crowded outside.
Exactly. Snatch his ass up.
Yeah.
So when do you guys think they're going to sentence him?
I don't know, because you know what? The
How
last
long
thing
do they
this
have?
month.
Can he appeal?
Can he appeal
Yeah,
what to
well,
get
he has
released?
to, he can appeal after he's sentenced.
Yeah, after he's sentenced. I love it. Oh, thank you, Judge.
And then
At
also
least,
that
at least that
pardon.
much. Now, listen, Mel. This and
He could get
everything.
pardoned too, of course, ML. And
Oh yes, because
But this gives him the opportunity to get black dye for his hair. for
yes,
his
he's
hair.
on federal.
Oh damn, he going Trump going pardon him.
He's gonna give $1 million
It's
to
fine.
Trump.
It's fine because you know what? Diddy had never done Diddy had never been held accountable a day in his life. He never did a single day in jail until this came up. So at least he got a little taste of something, no matter what.
Yeah, he got to sit down. He got to sit down and eat some crappy food and
Exactly.
not dye his hair. And not dye his hair. And he had to take a piss and a shit in a toilet with no covering.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, just kill me now. Oh, Lord of mercy.
Yeah. That metal toilet, I'm sure, is really low with no toilet seat cover.
Oh,
And
is that the,
it is
is that
real
the
like,
toilet with the sink built on it? Oh, goddamn.
You painted a picture of a skinny body. But you know what's wild? I don't think Trump's gonna pardon him yet. If Trump gonna pardon him, Trump's gonna be one of those pardons when Trump's about to leave office.
Yes, yeah, you're right about that.
Trump has already said that he knows Diddy. Because Trump used to go to all Diddy parties. So,
But I don't know, ML, because my theory was that Trump could easily pardon him. And the reason why he would want to do it is because he's getting ready to go after Black Americans and Black men in particular. So, you know, he was just saying at one of his most recent press conferences, he's like, you know, no, the deportations are so important. But, you know, there's a lot of people that have been here, that are born here, been here a long time, been here, you know, who are here from here. And they're committing a lot of crimes as well. So, you know, maybe they should also be deported, you know. So, like, he's coming from the natural born.
No, but
he's coming.
But didn't the judge already say, the judges already say that's illegal? They can't deport a person who was born here. Like, what the hell? We're supposed to deport them to?
Under the guise of crime, there's a lot of leeway, though. You know, under the guise of crime.
yeah, but for you to deport somebody, a country has to be willing to take that person.
Yeah.
So who's gonna take him?
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm gonna be honest, that will be uprising because first of all, you already got people uprising, right? When they got people who are possibly from other countries being deported, right? Can you imagine if homie, or you know, it doesn't even matter what their race is, but if they're like, oh well, we're gonna deport your brother because you know he has a series of crimes. Do you think people are standing for that shit? Hell no, that's not happening.
I'll be right back. I'm going to troll Plan B just one more time.
But how come it's a MAGA ain't making rules about this big, beautiful bill and talking about how great it is?
Because they know it's bullshit.
they don't care about the big, beautiful bill because they're millionaires and they earn 6 figures. So they don't care. And even the regular ones.
I'm just sitting in my office, watching y'all, listening to y'all. Goddamn.
You know, it was funny. I remember that Good always used to call Matt racist man. It used to be so funny.
Oh, he left it.
What up, Scotty?
Yo. Who's that? Trump and Mephisto? Scott?
Who?
Trump and Mephisto in your picture? I can't tell.
Oh my PTR. No, that is the cover of Pink Floyd album.
Wait, it is? What Pink Floyd album is that?
wish you were here. It symbolizes the regular man doing a deal with a businessman, but at the same time destroying himself.
Got you. Damn it, I got
So how many are signing the petition for Trump to deport Musk?
I mean, at this point, I don't even care. I'm just like,
But funny thing, when we used to say that it's just a matter of time that those two will fall out, and it's going to be quick. And we were so right because we know Trump. And apparently, it's like Musk, if you're that iota of a genius, you should have known that she was coming too.
Somebody made a comment. That's a great idea. We should petition to deport Melania. Can you imagine? What will Trump say? Whoa, wait. You don't want to meet our petition because it's your wife? Well, that's not fair.
And although she came to the country and she worked when she was on a tourist visa, so she did commit a crime before she got her Einstein visa.
That's a fact.
Diddy's judge is younger than him. He's only 46 years old.
So, Mel, I've come to the realization that most people are now younger than me. when it used to be the other way around. Most people especially patients that I deal with, right? That all the patients